Okay, so we're going to get into something pretty heavy today, but it's also incredibly important. We're going to talk about that behavior we often just label as attention seeking and really dig into what might be going on just beneath the surface. And come on, let's be real. This is the go to thought for so many of us, isn't it? That phrase just has a negative ring to it. We immediately picture someone stirring up drama, trying to manipulate a situation just to get all eyes on them. It's a really common reaction. But what if that gut reaction, that first judgment, is missing the bigger picture? Psychology kind of asks us to pause and look a little deeper, to look past the action and try to understand the need that's driving it. And this right here is such a game-changing way to look at it. It's not about wanting an audience. It's about a desperate plea for validation. See, wanting attention is about the number of people looking, but needing to be noticed, that's about the quality of the seeing. It's about hoping just one person will actually see you and get it. So, what does it really mean to be noticed? Well, it pretty much boils down to two things that every single one of us needs. First, to have your pain, your struggle taken seriously. And second, to simply be believed, especially when it feels like the world is telling you that what you're feeling isn't real or isn't valid. So, this begs a really big question, right? If the pain starts inside, quietly, how in the world does it end up becoming so external, so visible to everyone? Well, it all starts here. It begins with a deep, internal hurt that just goes completely unseen. Imagine you're shouting in a soundproof room. That's what it can feel like. And eventually, if that pain keeps being ignored, it has to find another way to speak. If words aren't getting through, if they just bounce off, the pain starts searching for a language that can't be so easily dismissed. And this is what happens. This is the final step in that desperate search for a language. The pain literally surfaces. It becomes something you can see, something physical, because words just weren't enough to convey how bad things had gotten inside. So here's the absolute key. This isn't about being dramatic. It's about providing evidence. It's a last-ditch attempt to prove that the pain is real, especially when no one seems to be listening. It's like saying, see, I told you something was wrong. Maybe now you'll believe me. And it's so important to get this. This doesn't come from weakness. Not at all. It comes from a place of desperation. It starts with feeling completely invisible, like you don't even matter. Then that feeling becomes totally overwhelming. And finally, you get to a point where you honestly don't even know how to ask for help anymore. Just let that one sink in. It really says it all, doesn't it? When a person's words feel like they have absolutely no weight, no power, then their own body has to become the message. It becomes the billboard for all the pain they couldn't get out otherwise. Okay, so we've kind of unpacked the what and the why behind this. But now we get to the part that really truly matters. What do we do with this understanding? How are we supposed to respond? This is so unbelievably important. Our gut reaction might be to judge, to shame, or even to punish what we see. But pain isn't a moral failing that deserves punishment. It's a signal. It's a signal that someone deserves care. Period. And to take that one step further, needing help, even when it comes out in these messy, difficult ways, doesn't make a person manipulative. You know what it makes them? Human. It's part of the deal of being alive. We all need help sometimes. So at the end of the day, it really comes down to this choice. We can react with shame, which just pours salt in the wound and makes a person feel even more alone and invisible, or we can choose understanding, and that's what opens the door to actual healing. Look, if you remember one thing from all of this, let it be this right here. This idea flips that whole attention-seeking label completely on its head. The action isn't the problem. The action is the result of the problem, which is a long, painful history of feeling completely and utterly unseen. And that right there is where the hope lies. Because if the wound comes from feeling invisible, then the medicine, the first step toward healing, is being seen. To be truly seen, acknowledged, and believed. That simple act can change everything. So I'll just leave you with this to think about. In our own lives, with the people we care about, how can we get better at this? How can we learn to look past the loud, visible behavior and start seeing the quiet, invisible pain that's driving it? How can we start seeing the unseen?